I was at the farmer's market yesterday and there was this big box of tomatoes. And they looked a little squishy and mushy, but they were also gorgeous and so inexpensive. Juicy, perfectly ripe, ready to be in my Vitamix to make gazpacho. So to start, what I do with this is take those juicy tomatoes and make a gazpacho that is an inexpensive soup, even though it is packed with vegetables, because hopefully you're gonna find tomatoes like this that cost less because they're really ripe and in season. If you don't, you can still make it and it will be delicious. But what you do want to do for this recipe is find tomatoes that are as juicy as possible, because if you don't have super juicy tomatoes, you can add some tomato juice to the recipe. But what I like to do is take my blender, my Vitamix, and put those tomatoes, look at those gorgeous tomatoes, they're so beautiful, right in, big hunkin' chunks, just like that. And then that's what's great about this recipe. It literally takes minutes because you're just putting your vegetables in, like my celery here, in just these big knobby pieces. You don't have to feel like you have to like overly cut everything. And what gazpacho is, if you've never had it growing up, it's a cold soup. That's it. It's a cold vegetable soup. So I'm just gonna put the onions there, my big chunky pieces, and then I've got some bell pepper. I like to use the red, orange, or yellow bell peppers, but you could also use green if you like. But my daughter says that she prefers the other colors to the green, so we're gonna go with the red today. Okay, and I've got a little bit more pepper here. And you know, on Weelicious, I have the exact measurements for this recipe, but you don't have to make yourself crazy. This is a recipe that if you like more tomatoes, or you like more bell peppers or cucumbers, go with it. I just put in a whole clove of garlic. You could do a little bit more if you want, but you know, a lot of kids will say, I don't want it too garlicky. I like it garlic, but it is raw, so remember that. And then cucumber. You can do the cucumber peeled and seeded. I like it all. So I'm not gonna peel or seed mine, but it's your preference. I mean, if you don't like the thick skin of the cucumber, then go ahead and peel it. Wow. And you have to really use your muscles to get in here because it is so packed. I'm trying to get all these tomatoes in because, hey, you got tomatoes that cost $1 a pound, you're gonna buy a lot of tomatoes. We had made this yesterday. Both of my kids had 2 heaping bowls topped with a little bit of avocado as a beautiful garnish. And my daughter actually was eating the huge chunks. Every bite had to have a piece of avocado with a big piece, or a big thing of tomatoes in the soup. Okay, let's see if I can try to squeeze one more in here. I'm really going for it today. It's gonna work, it's gonna work. And then you're just gonna put in, get my towel. I forgot one ingredient, hold on. Got this gorgeous olive oil. You're gonna put about a tablespoon of olive oil in here. It's about a little bit more, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's just gonna give a little bit of the flavor of the olive oil, but also, you know, a little bit of richness to the soup also. And then I've got balsamic vinegar. I mean, I like to use a really good balsamic and olive oil, especially in something like this, because I'm not cooking with it, and this is gonna add a lot of flavor. On Weelicious, I also call for red wine vinegar. So if you don't have balsamic, you can use red wine vinegar also, or even sherry vinegar, because that adds a nice bit of sweetness. I like to do a half of a lemon, getting some more acid to the soup, because it's got all the bright flavors from the vegetables and the crunch, but you want to make sure that it has a little bit of that acid in it. Squeeze her in. All right, I've been so excited to make this. I actually made this soup yesterday and I stopped my husband halfway through and I was like, wait a minute, I want to do a video for this because it was so good and the kids love it. And so it's for, you know, summertime when everything is so ripe and juicy and delicious. It's perfect. And then I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. You have a lot of these vegetables, so you need to add the salt. I'm gonna do a little bit now, and then I'm gonna wait until I taste it. So then you're gonna put it in your blender. Now this is not the time to turn on the blender and walk away. You wanna put the top on and just give it some nice pulses. On the Vitamix, I'm gonna do it like on a lower speed. That wouldn't be the lower speed I was talking about. This is the lower speed. And you have this like magic wand here, and you can just push it down so that everything, just pulse it a few times. See, it's so great that you've got this nice wand to stick right in there. Get it all in. You work your muscles doing this. Okay, let's give it one more. Because the one thing you don't want is a big piece of onion or cucumber. You want to make sure that it does break up. And you can, if you're the family that wants it a little bit more pureed, you can do that. If you're like us, we like to have like a few bites. You want to really taste the texture of the vegetables. That's why I like to keep it on the lowest setting possible making it. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. I can see I've got some big pieces right at the top. So I wanna make sure, there we go, to get those in too. But you can see how gorgeous is that. It's just this beautiful, beautiful soup. You can still see a few little pieces, but I can grab my spoon right here, take a bite and see what I think. Oh, so pretty. It's luscious and it's just perfectly summery. You're gonna have a party. You can make this ahead, keep it in the refrigerator, serve it room temperature, or as I prefer it, chilled. And this is summer at its best. For more fast, fresh, and easy recipes like this and more, check out Weelicious.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Please make this soup, it's so good.